Good evening, guys, and welcome to your first semester of Accounting 1A. Let me just see if I can switch on my video for you. There we go. It's lovely to see some of you online. I hope some more will join us. Hiya. Okay. I know it's difficult for you guys that are what we call adult students to always attend these collabs. So we do record them, and they will then be uploaded for anybody who isn't able to make the session live. You'll be able to listen to the recording afterwards. And obviously, even if you were here, you'll have access to the information afterwards as well. So that just makes it easier for everybody. Okay, so as you've probably seen, my name is Heather Ashington, and I'll be your tutor for this module for this semester, which hopefully you will enjoy, and also hopefully you guys will do well at the module. And I tutor and lecture on most of the numeric modules, and really, guys, I'll say this up front, and you'll probably hear me saying it several times, the absolute secret, and it's not a secret, it's just the way to do well and to pass this module, is to make sure that you work right from the very beginning, the word go, and you work with your textbook and your workbooks that comes with the textbook. You work through each learning unit, carefully going through each of the examples as you go through the learning unit, and then you also practice the questions given to you throughout each learning unit. At the back of your textbooks, you've got the solutions to the questions. So if you get stuck when you're trying to attempt them, you can refer to the solution to see what you should be doing. But always when you practice the questions, try and do the question as far as possible by yourself without looking at the solution. And only when you get stuck, then go and consult the solution. And if you do that and you practice the questions until you can do those questions without looking at the solution and get them right, then you know you are ready for the exam, and you will definitely then pass as well as do well. Those students that work consistently through the semester, ask questions as they go, and practice all the examples and questions, without a doubt, they will pass. Okay. So let's just see. I just want to make sure we've given everybody enough time to join that wants to join. Okay, guys, so this evening is just an introduction session, just to kind of make sure that you guys know your way around, that you've got all the materials that you should have, and that you know what to do to get started. So because you are distance students, you are also self-directed learners, which means nobody's going to be telling you what to do every minute of the week. You will learn at your own pace. You'll have a guideline, which I will show you. But obviously, because you all have your own schedules, you will learn at your own pace. And when you have got a question or you get stuck on something you're not sure of, how did they work this out, why did they do this like that, then that's what I'm here for. Then you immediately send me a message and ask me whatever it is that you're stuck with. That's also one of the keys to doing well. So don't ever be shy about asking questions. That is the reason you have a tutor. We're here so that you can ask us questions and not get stuck. So again, because this is online and our time together is limited, we don't teach. So these are not classes as such. These are just collab sessions for questions and answers, and for me to give you clarity on anything that you're stuck with. So it's always helpful for me if you guys do send me questions, because then I get an idea of what the students are battling with. And then when we have a collab, I know exactly what to address in that collab. because I'll try and keep it to issues and questions that I know are common to most of the students. So sending me questions is very important. Okay, so your 3 most important things that you're going to have to make sure that you're successful is, firstly, this document that you can see on screen now. This is called the module outline. It is in your student materials folder for your module, and you should download it and preferably print it if you can. It's not that many pages. But if you can't, you definitely need to have it downloaded, and you will be referring to it constantly because it is a very important document, and I'll show you how you're going to use it in a minute. So this is your first document, very important. Your second item that you're going to use, and that's critical, is your textbook. This module is a very textbook-based module. So yes, we will upload slides and various other bits and pieces for you, but none of that is going to help you pass unless you engage with your textbook and you practice those questions. That's what's going to get you past the module. Okay. And then the third thing is Learn itself. So your Learn platform, you will log on to that, come to this module, and work your way through the module learning unit by learning unit, because it's very well constructed. Each learning unit begins with a little bit of reading, some introduction. It'll give you some little articles to read or links to videos to watch, and then it will say, okay, now go and read pages X to Z in your textbook, and then practice question number, whatever it is. So Learn actually acts like a tutor that's sitting next to you all the time and takes you through each learning unit. If you utilize Learn and you engage with your textbook and the workbook, and you make sure that you are using your module as your pacer and your guideline, then you can happily work on your own and not get lost with any of the work, or at least you'd know where you are all the time. Okay. Anybody got any questions at this point? Anything you want to ask or you want to know? I've got a list of things that we're going to go through, so hopefully what I've planned to discuss or just to chat to you about this evening will hopefully answer any questions that you have got. Okay, so nothing yet. Oh, also, while we're online as well, it's never anything formal. So if you have got a question, you can just raise your hand. You can see at the bottom of the screen, you've got that little option. And then you can open your microphone and you can just talk, chat, ask a question. Or if you'd prefer, while we're talking, you can type in the chat box. So, and then I'll keep an eye on the chat box. And then from time to time, I'll track there if there's any questions that need answering. Okay, so use the chat box. You're welcome to chat online. It's not a formal situation where you're just going to sit there and listen to me. You can obviously do that if you're happy. I don't require you to talk if you don't want to. Lots of students just prefer to type in the chat box, and that's also absolutely fine. And then obviously also you've got the option to send me messages, and I'll show you how that works as well. Okay, so module outline, I want to just go and have a look at a few things on this to show you why it is such an important document. So table of contents, fine, we know what that is. Intro, you can read through all of this, and that you should read through. Just because I'm paging past some of these pages, it doesn't mean they're not important. It just means there's just certain pages that I want to go to. Also, while we're online, at the top left-hand side of your screen, if you're on a laptop, you'll see the little zoom in and zoom out magnifying glasses. So when I've got a document open on screen, you must use those zooms yourself. I can't control that for you. Okay, so here we go. This is a module outline is to support your learning. You're going to use this module It's on Learn. Remember, I talked about Learn. So you will use Learn as well as your prescribed material, and your prescribed material is your textbook. And you're going to use your module outline. So those are the three things that I mentioned. You won't succeed if you focus on this document alone, or if you focus only on slides that are uploaded or things like that. It absolutely will not get you through. Go through the material and activities on Learn and read. Okay, so this is not so much read for this module because it's a numeric module. What you need to do here for this module to get you through and I'm going to say that many times as well. This module on Learn, so again, I'm sure that in your orientation they've shown you how to log on to Learn and told you what Learn is all about. So that's your online space, which is very important for these modules. It will guide and pace you through the module, and they really do that very well. So please use it. What else is this? So on Learn, you will find these other additional resources, links to articles, links to videos, various audio, interactive graphics, etc. So this is also why it helps you to understand concepts as you go through that. It's got critical questions you can use to test yourself, revision questions, etc. And on Learn, one thing we will be using Learn for are your ICE activities. So I'm sure also they've told you about ICE, and I'll indicate to you that we talk about ICE in a minute, a little bit. And all the activities, ICE activities that I will give you to do are all in Learn, which means you need to log on to the Learn platform, go to your module and locate the activity in whichever learning unit it happens to be, complete the activity on Learn, and then submit it on Learn. I will mark it there and you'll be able to get your feedback all online. Okay, so more about that later. So unless you are completing this as a distance module, which you are doing, so Learn replaces your contact time with your lecture, because you aren't going to be sitting in classrooms having lectures as such. It's you and your material. So use Learn, use your textbook, use this module outline, because that is replacing your contact time with your tutors. Other than obviously the collabs that we'll have where you've got me in a live situation to ask questions and to help explain anything that you're stuck with. Okay, you'll work through the learning units on Learn in your own time, particularly as you are distance students. So this page over here, you will see that when you log on, when you're browsing through Learn, on various screens in Learn, they'll have these different icons. So this is just an explanation of what that page will what that page is all about, what type of activity it is. And then your module resources, again, make sure that hopefully you have already ordered your textbooks and have got them from Wise Books. Sometimes you're able to get secondhand textbooks from past students. They often do sell them. And with this module, you should be fine if you've got a textbook that's a year or two old. They do publish new ones from time to time. Those usually just contain some kind of corrections or other, but seldom anything that's completely new. But preferably have the latest version, because obviously then you know you've got everything that you need. Those are just your module outcomes. You can read through that. And then when you are looking at the assessment, so this is a very, very important page in the module outline your information about your assessments. So when you are looking at this page, please make sure that you are looking at the page with the W, because that is then the online module where you do assignments. If you look at the previous page, you'll see the full-time students do tests. They don't do assignments, but you all do the identical examination, same day, same paper. Okay. So let's have a look at our assignments. Our assessments. Your final mark will be made up of 4 different marks. Your first assignment, which is going to be on the first 4 learning units, that counts for 25% of your total module mark. And your assignment 1 is due on the 28th of April. So you're lucky. You guys have still got quite a bit of time to get yourselves there. It's almost 2 months from now. Some of the other students have got a much shorter time span than that. Your second assignment will count for 30% of your final mark, and that will be, also just take a look here, they'll say second assignment, learning unit 1 to 6. So here, your first assignment will cover the first 4 learning units. Your second assignment will in effect be mainly on learning units 5 and 6. Okay, so assignment 2 will be learning units 5 and 6, but because of the nature of accounting, you would never be able to do learning units 5 and 6 without that foundation of the first 4 learning units. So that is why they list it here as learning units 1 to 6. It really means on all of the work up until the point of the end of learning unit 6. Then we have got the ICE at the top over here. We've got ICE. And here you need to do 4 of 6 tasks that you will be given. And if you complete and hand in, or should I say submit all 4 tasks, you will get this 10%. So you know that your pass mark for the module is 50%. So if you complete all your 4 ICE tasks, you've already got 10 of that 50%. Okay. So your ICE, I will give you a list of 6 ICE tasks. You must complete 4 of them, your own choice out of the 6, whichever 4 you prefer to do. And you make sure that you complete them by the final ICE due date. So your, oopsie, what did I do there? Your ICE final due date is going to be the 2nd of June, Friday the 2nd of June. By midnight on that day. As long as you've completed it by that date, I will mark your ICE task and that will be taken into account. If you submit anything after the 2nd of June, the ICE will be closed and it can't be marked. So as soon as I give you your ICE list, which I'm hoping to still upload this week, you can go ahead and start working on your ICE. So again, at your own pace, as long as the 4 tasks are all completed by the 2nd of June. Okay. And then, of course, finally, we've got the exam, which counts for 35% of your total module mark. Some students, I have been getting messages regarding the exam where they were wanting to know that being distance students, do they write on campus? And the answer is yes. You write the exact same paper on the exact same date that the full-time students write, and it is an on-campus closed book 3-hour exam. So just make sure you're prepared for that, and if you have any issues with that, use student, what do they call it, on the student intranet where you can log queries. I'm here to help you with any academic queries, in other words, queries with the actual material itself and the assessments. But anything technical, administrative, IT related, you need to raise a query and open a ticket, an online ticket, to get help with that. The tutors have got no access to any of the back end of the systems or any of the admin, or may I please submit again because I was late. That's completely out of our hands. We're independent of that. So we help you with the content of the module, and anything else will be with the administrative student help desk, etc. We'll be able to help you with that. Any questions at this point on anything here? Okay, so remember, this is in the module outline, and this is why you need to keep the module outline with you. And what I would do is, what I also prefer to do is, on your module, in your module outline, if you've printed it out, write down the due date of the assignments right here, so you've got everything on one page instead of having to come here to see which learning units is it and somewhere else to find the due date. Try and, if you can, remember, streamline your life to make it easier for you to find all your information. We don't yet have dates for the exams, so I'll show you the pairs in a minute. They haven't released that yet. Okay, so then we come to the part that is referred to as the PACER. Okay. And this starts on the page where Learning Unit 1 information starts. And then from this point in the module outline, the guide will take you through, it's got 2 pages for each learning unit. The first page gives you this overview, and it also paces you, in other words, tells you over here in this little paragraph here, if you are a distance student, you will likely to complete, you should hopefully complete this learning unit during the course of academic week 1. So that paces you, learning unit 1, and this here is a guideline as to when you should be completing that. So you'll find this for each learning unit throughout the module outline, and that's a guideline for you to make sure that you keep up to date. So by the time you get to assignment 1, assignment 2 in the exam, you've been able to cover all of the work, or hopefully the majority of it. So remember also, because you are self-paced, that this is a suggestion, it's a guideline to try and assist you. It's not a prescription. So don't panic if you haven't been able to do that. There is time, and there are a couple of weeks right at the end before the exam where you can make up time if you haven't been able to keep up strictly with the PACER. So the PACER in the module outline, I'll just call it the MO. If you see MO, that means module outline, covers 12 academic weeks. So your learning units, you are paced over 12 weeks, but in the whole semester, we have got 16 weeks. So it is, let me just double check my calendar here. The 12 weeks will finish the week of the 15th of May is the 12th week. And by then we should have finished all of your academic work, finished the learning units, and done our last assignment. And then after that, we start preparing for the exam. So as I say, I don't have your exam date yet, but that will be sometime in the second half of June. So you've got 2 or 3 weeks at the end of the 12 weeks to then catch up and revise. Okay, and then it tells you over here, please work through themes 1 and 2 on Learn. So that's the online, together with the relevant sections of your prescribed, your textbook. Okay, to ensure that you are working towards mastering the objectives. And I'll show you what the objectives are in a second, where to find them. And please also ensure you complete activities on Learn. And you will be completing these activities via the ICE tasks. And any activity that isn't an ICE task, you are absolutely free to do all of the activities on Learn. Only a select few of them will be taken for the ICE task marks. So then the second page for each learning unit. So here again, this is learning unit 1. This gives us our theme breakdown. So remember the previous page said work your way through theme 1 and theme 2 on Learn. So this is what is accounting and why do we record financial information. So your first learning unit is very theoretical. It's all background theory. So it's quite an easy learning unit. It's just sort of a bit of foundation. But these bullet points over here, LO1, LO2, LO3, etc. LO stands for learning objective. And these are your learning outcomes on which you will be tested. So they are basically telling you here in this list what they will ask you in the assessments. That goes for the assignments as well as the exam. So when you are revising and when you are working through each learning unit, make sure you've prepared, if it says a brief overview or outline the users, explain the principles, etc. Prepare a short little, locate that information in your textbook. And then in your little revision notebook, put the page number there and write down a short little brief summary that would answer that outcome. And in that way, you are revising and preparing study notes for when you are going to have to memorize for the exam. Because this is what they will ask you, okay? Contrast financial accounting with management accounting. Illustrate the accounting cycle graphically. And all of this you'll find in your textbook, okay? So guys, they couldn't make it easier. And this is also why this outline is so important, because it lists exactly, it paces you, and then it lists exactly what you need to know for the assessments. And then after that, the next page will go on to learning unit 2. And in this one, it's a much longer learning unit. And this is super important, your learning unit 2. You must spend give yourself lots of time on this one. And here, distance student, learning unit during the course of academic weeks 2 and 3. So they give you 2 weeks for this one to work through. Again, work through themes 1 to 3 on Learn together with the relevant sections of your textbook, etc., etc. And then in the second page, they give you your learning objectives for the second chapter, learning unit 2. Okay, and then this is how you will then work your way using the module outline. You'll work your way through all of the learning units in your module. So everything you need to guide yourself is provided to you. You must use it, make use of it. Okay. Then I just want to quickly show you, have you guys found your what we call the pairs? Did I put it here? The pairs, also known as the program assessment schedule. It's just loading quickly. All right, so at the top, I'll show you this one that we currently have is version 2. If you look right at the top. Again, make sure you have got the one for the distance campus, and always check that you have got the latest version. Okay. so that if they have made any changes, that you have got the latest version and you are aware of what those changes are. So, oh yeah, we're lucky our module's right at the top. So here's 5121. Here we are. Assignment 1 is due on the 28th of April. It must be uploaded before 9 p.m. Your second assignment, 24th of May, and then written on campus exam. They haven't given us the dates yet. These exam dates will still be given to us, in which case that will be on version 3 or 4, depending on what other changes they make. Okay. So everybody knows then what the PAS is and where to find that. Oopsie. So for your first assignment, I've given you the due date of that. The assignment is available in student materials for your module. So you go to your module code on your, I think it's via the student intranet. I'm not sure what they call all of these things. And in the student materials folder, you will find the module outline and your assignment documents there. Please download it straight away, locate it, download it straight away, open it and start familiarizing yourself with it so that as you're working through the learning units, you know already what the questions in the assignment are going to be. So you'll already start looking for those questions in the textbook so that right from the start, you can start looking for where am I going to find the answers to these assignment questions. Don't leave it until 2 days before the due date and then sit up all night trying to do that. You must allow yourself in accounting plenty of time to do this, particularly this first assignment, because you've got to do in Learning Unit 2. Oh, that's interesting. I've got the wrong textbook here. Particularly in Learning Unit 2, there's some tricky exercises you're going to have to do. And if you give yourself time and you do them carefully, you will get them right, but it will take time. If you rush in the night before the assignment is due, you will battle with that. So please don't be in that situation. The textbook, you know where to find that, WISE Books, and you've also got the details of it in your module outline. I've discussed the assignment document to make sure you've downloaded it and you know where it is, and make sure that you can open it, that it's all working correctly. Then with these collabs, as I mentioned earlier, we will be recording everything, and I'll also be making other recordings and uploading some narrated slides. Some I'll have narrated, some are narrated by other people, and I'll be uploading all of those for you. So what we're going to be doing from this year is each tutor will create a YouTube channel, and then there will be a playlist on my channel for your module. So once that's created and it's all up and running, I'll give you the link for that in the announcements and you'll be able to find everything. So the recordings for collabs will also be uploaded to YouTube. We can't keep them in Learn and in Blackboard anymore because they just take up too much memory, too much space. So we have to download them and delete them off Blackboard and upload them into the YouTube channel. Okay, so all of that will unfold as we go along. By next week, that YouTube channel will be working, and I'll have the recordings and everything up there for you so that we can get going with that. Then the other thing is a WhatsApp group. I know the students really enjoy having a WhatsApp group amongst themselves, because if you guys do have a question, it's nice to chat about it on the WhatsApp group to see if somebody else has been able to locate what you're looking for or knows where to find something that you can't find, etc. So if you would like a WhatsApp group, that would be great. And I don't know if there is anybody who's online now that would be willing to create a WhatsApp group for you guys, and then let me have the link, and then I will share that link in the announcements with all of the other students, so you guys can all talk to each other. There's approximately just under 20 of you in this group at the moment that has already registered. I don't know if there'll be any more students registering still, but there's just under 20 students in this group at the moment. Does anybody want to create a WhatsApp group? Otherwise, I can do it and then send you the link. The only thing with the WhatsApp group is I will not be on that WhatsApp group. I just can't do that for all the modules because it just becomes way too much trying to keep up with that. And then again, you guys have got a private space where you can chat and ask questions, etc. Okay, so I will create that WhatsApp group and let you guys have the link, and then you guys can all join. I'll provide the link. Everybody needs to join using the link. No one is allowed to add anybody because of the POPIA, the Protection of Personal Information Act. As a result of that, we may not add people to a group. They have to voluntarily join with a link that is shared. So that just makes sure that nobody is forced to be added to a WhatsApp group that they didn't want to be added to in the first place. Okay, so that will work. And then contacting me, the tutor. Let me just go and share my screen. Stop sharing that. And I'm going to just quickly show you where to do this. On your module. Okay, so you should now be seeing something that looks like a kaleidoscope. And I'm going to go into Learn Itself. Okay, so yours won't look exactly the same at this point. This is mine. So I'm going into 5121, Accounting 1A. So however you get into your module, hopefully your screen won't look identical, but here I'm in your module. So in your menu down the left-hand side, you will find somewhere, where is it? Here. An item called Contact the Tutor. So if you click on that, it will take you to send a message to the tutor to this screen. And if you click on send a message to the tutor, you'll go to create a message. And here it says to. And when you click on to, here you will see my name right at the top. You'll go Heather Ashington, pop my name into the recipients, and then go down here, give it a subject, and then you type over here, hi ma'am, and then whatever, and you submit it. And then I will get a notification that there's a message, and I will be able to find the message, and then I will, in the same place, I will reply to you, and then you will get a notification to say that I've replied to your message. Okay, so that's how to contact me. Please don't reply to announcements. A lot of students do that. You get an email with your announcements, and a lot of students reply to those emails. But if I get 5 different students replying to the same announcement, but on 5 different subjects, it's all created with one thread, and your messages will get lost like that. So please don't do that, because I can't keep track of threads like that. So rather use the system that we are given. Okay. So that's the messages. Oh, your learning units. If you go here, you'll see their module content. So this is really important, is your learning units. And this is where I was saying you'll go to learn and work through each learning unit. So you'll start out by going to learning unit 1. So this is again the same little description here in this blue box that you found in your module outline. And when you click on that, these are these icons that I showed you, that page that explains These icons are explained in your module outline. This block right at the top here is a repetition of your learning objectives. So this tells you these are your right at the top of each learning unit, the learning objectives, very, very NB. And then theme 1, what is accounting? So you have a little article that you can click on here, little description and an article that will take you through to something else to read, some questions to think about. And then when you've done that and read that, then you click on the theme and it takes you into the theme. Here it will cover content for you. So this is what I mean when I say it's like having a tutor sitting next to you. It will tell you, read this article, and wherever you've got a blue highlighted text, if you click on that, it will take you through to a link. So straight away, it will take you through to a link that you can read. Sometimes the link is a video. Sometimes the link is over here, like to watch this video. And if you click on that, it will take you to a video that you can then watch, and so on and so forth.
Welcome to beautiful Italy.
Okay. So this is why using Learn is really great. And then when you've done that little section, then underneath that it says read learning unit 1 of the textbook and learn more about the history of accounting. So the two work, this works together with your textbook. Okay, so that is then some background into how you use Learn. Good question, Mila. So your workbook, if you have a look at the workbook together with your textbook, what the workbook is a collection of templates for every single question that is in the textbook. So you'll see that the workbook will start out with question 1.1. So that means in chapter 1 of your textbook, question 1.1, that's the template for completing the solution for that question. So the workbook is your templates for practicing all of the questions. Okay. If you work in pencil, then you can always practice the question once and then rub it out and then practice it again and rub it out and practice it again until you can see that, am I able to complete the question from start to finish without any mistakes and without referring to the solution. So at the back of your textbooks, the solutions are there to the questions, and the workbook is your templates for completing the questions in. Because when you guys do your assignment and the exam, you get a pre-printed workbook to complete your questions in that looks very similar to the workbook. And then the last thing that I wanted to just let you know that is available to you is for your particular module, there are some catch-up videos that were created by IIE just for the first 3 learning units of the module to get students that have maybe registered late, to get them going, and they did it for the full-time students. But for you guys, why it's so great is you have basically then got recorded full lectures for those first 3 modules with some extra help. So go and have a look at on your student intranet. Let me just see, where were they? There we go. So if you go to your MyVC student intranet, and it might not look exactly like my screen is because, and then you look for this button that says catch up videos. It will take you to a list of modules, and there you'll see right at the top we've got 5121. So if you click on that, you'll have Learning Unit 1. So inside each of those 3 folders, there are videos and material and exercises and stuff that you guys can work through. I'm going to try and upload these same things to the YouTube channel once it's created, so that everything is accessed in one place instead of you guys trying to find everything. But you're very lucky that isn't there for all of the modules. They've done it for some of the numeric modules, which are obviously those modules that students need the most assistance with to get going. So you're lucky that you've got that for your module. So you have got those catch-up videos. Okay, guys, I don't want to keep everybody on too long. I know sitting online in the evenings in Zoom and team meetings and collabs is not the most fun. So I'm going to finish up here. There's no more questions. So our next collab will be, and I will add this all onto your calendar. We'll update the calendar. Also, it's just to finalize all of the dates for everything, and then I'll get as much as I can up on your calendars. And our next collab will be the 20th of March, Monday, the 20th of March at 6:30, Monday, 20th of March. I try and alternate, so because you guys were at 5:30 today, that your next collab is at 6:30 to give everybody a chance for a later and an earlier collab. Kamishka, that's a very good question, and I'm glad you asked that. Yes, you absolutely have to reference your assignments, but only for theory questions. So if you have to, for instance, when you get to the parts where you guys are completing journals or analyzing transactions under the accounting equation, you don't have to reference those because they are numerical exercises that you've completed by doing calculations, etc. But if they ask you, for instance, contrast financial accounting with management accounting, and you have to write a paragraph, you most definitely do then have to reference. It's exactly the same referencing system. The IIE has got that one referencing system that I'm sure they've told you about, and it's exactly those same rules. And then don't forget at the end of your assignment to have your reference list, your bibliography. Okay, but when we come to having our sessions immediately before the assignments, the national support sessions, particularly for assignments, I'll go over all that and all those details and information with you to prepare you for that. Awesome, guys. Thank you very much. I hope this has been helpful and that you have got some value out of it. And then don't forget, let me know anything at all you're stuck with. I'm happy to help you. And then I will see you next time. And in the meantime, we'll be chatting in announcements. And I'll catch up with you guys there. Okay. Okay, guys, great. Thank you very much. And I will see you later. And then have a very good evening. Thanks, guys. Bye.